Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
One eternity later.
I'm getting impatient, guys. I'm starting to get impatient. My butt hurts and I just want this to be over at this point. So we're gonna go as fast as we can and use up as much energy as possible. Hopefully I make it home. Here I am on the road again. I'm tone deaf. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It is a gorgeous day in New England. Spring is here. Lots of things budding. From the trees, from the bushes. My grass is finally growing. And we are out here on the Aniioki A8 Pro Max. Single motor, 52 volt, 60 amp hour battery. And today we're going to be doing a bit of a range test. We'll see how many miles we can get from this big battery, and we'll bring this battery down to a reasonable amount. We're not going to bring it all the way down to 0. I mean, we'll find out. Maybe I'll overestimate the range a bit, and then, I don't know, hopefully we won't get stuck. But I guess maybe we'll bring it down to like 10%, 20%, somewhere around there. I would say for most e-bikes, that's where things are pretty much over in terms of getting any kind of meaningful power from your e-bike. And we are on the way to a trail that I have in my state. What's interesting is that this trail actually runs all the way up north into another state. So we won't have any kind of issues at all finding a particular route. We also won't be just circling around some random neighborhood, not really getting any kind of scenic views whatsoever. So this should be an interesting ride for both me and you. And by the way, guys, I am testing out a new helmet camera setup. I used to ride with a big motorcycle helmet, which is great for many reasons. Number one, it's warm in the winter, and that allows me to continue making these videos for you guys well into the winter. When it's like 30, 40 degrees, my face is nice and toasty. But obviously it's warming up, and if we're on a slower e-bike like this that goes 30-ish miles an hour, not getting all that much wind rushing by you, a lighter weight helmet would be better. And so right now we're on a full face mountain bike helmet with my Insta360 mounted on the front and my DJI wireless mic mounted on the inside. And I've made some adjustments in the audio gain, and hopefully the sound comes out okay. Hopefully the video comes out okay too, because I really like this setup. I tested a bunch of different helmets, and already I feel this setup is a lot more comfortable in the warm weather than the motorcycle helmet. I gotta say, guys, I really like this bike. The 52 volts and the giant battery, you really feel like you can go anywhere. Like that feeling that you get in your car and just drive 1,000 miles wherever you want. Obviously, you're not going to get 1,000 from this, but the e-bike equivalent, you could just go wherever with this thing. You have zero range anxiety with so much battery. And you get a pretty good speed. Look at this. We're going like 35, 33 miles an hour. Easy. This is a slight downhill portion right here. I originally wanted to mod this bike to go a little bit faster, maybe put a direct drive motor on it. But I was doing a little bit of research, and I don't think we're going to get all that much more speed out of this, because right now we're hitting 33. With a direct drive motor, we might hit between, I don't know, 37, 38, somewhere on there. In the grand scheme of things, that's not a big difference. And my guess is that the torque would probably be the same. Obviously, it would be a much higher amp controller. The torque would be the same, most likely, because it's a direct drive motor versus this geared hub motor. And I would be using more amps from the battery. So I don't know if we're going to upgrade, guys. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do a little bit of research. You guys let me know in the comments below. I was looking at the kits from Rysun, and they have a nice like direct drive motor with a 45 amp kit. First, I have to find out if these batteries can handle a 45 amp discharge. I think it could. I'm not 100% sure. But honestly, guys, I'm happy with this bike right now. I'm enjoying myself. The speed is pretty good. The acceleration is very good compared to a lot of other bikes. This thing keeps up. with a lot of dual motor bikes that I've tested. And if you guys are watching this video, you would have already seen the review that I made for this bike. And as you guys could tell from the charts, from the leaderboard charts, this thing can hold its own. It keeps up just fine with some of the big boys, the dual motor bikes up there. And I can accelerate pretty quick, right up to 30 miles an hour. I'm pretty happy with that. For a slowish moving traffic, this bike is fantastic. I think if I lived in New York City, where maybe max speed you'd be going on the road is like 25 with all the traffic out there, this would be the bike I want, as long as I had a way to bring it up an elevator. Let's say if I lived in an upstairs apartment somewhere, because hauling this bike upstairs, it's actually not too bad if you take the battery out. The weight of this bike with no battery is 68 pounds, but the battery is 30 something pounds. And so that's where a lot of the weight is. So far, guys, I am really enjoying myself. I do like this bike a lot. I would definitely recommend it. I only have 28 miles on it, and I really like this bike. Some other bikes I review, I don't know if you guys can tell in my tone, but I don't enjoy them nearly as much as some other bikes. It's almost like work to review some of those bikes. Look at this, guys. This bike is plenty fast. We're going 33, 34. This is great. But this bike, I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's got a good amount of power, great acceleration, comfortable seat, giant battery, pretty much no range anxiety. This thing is triple the size of the battery that some e-bikes come with that claim to have a large battery. This is just like, oh, you have a big battery? Let's give you 3 times that amount. There you go. Here's some battery for you. I do like the joke that this bike reminds me of the A10 Thunderbolt. If you guys are familiar with planes at all, they pretty much just wanted to get a giant Gatling gun airborne. They're like, all right, we have this huge gun. Let's put some wings on it. Maybe let's figure out a way to get a pilot on this thing, some jets, and get this thing in the air so we can blow some tanks up. And I think that's kind of what this bike is, except they did that with the battery. They're like, all right, what's the best way to fit this gigantic battery on the bike? Okay, all right, right in the center. All right, let's go ahead and throw some wheels on it, a motor in one of the wheels, a controller. Let's put a seat somewhere on there, and yeah, handlebars, and we're good to go. All right, so we just got to the trail, and before we begin, I want to show you guys the setup that I have. So, a little cup holder with a Diet Coke in there. I got my phone in there, mirror, little blinking light, and I'm trying out this bag right here. I've got a bunch of stuff in there, some camera gear, some snacks. So this thing has probably an additional 20 pounds on it. So right now our total weight for the bike is maybe about 120 pounds, and I am 200 pounds. Tire pressure is about 30, and let's continue on. We're not necessarily going to go full speed on this trail, because of course there are pedestrians walking on this trail. This, by the way, it's called the Farmington River Trail, or Farmington River Canal Trail, whatever it's called. And this is a trail that starts at the bottom of Connecticut near Yale New Haven University, and it goes up until Southington, Connecticut. And then there's a small disconnect in one town, and then it picks back up right where we started in Plainville, Connecticut. And something I'm excited about is that they are actually going to be connecting the top part and the bottom part of this trail. So where we're starting, this is the trail that goes all the way up well into Massachusetts, and they're going to be connecting all of this with that bottom part that I mentioned that goes down to southern Connecticut, down to Yale University, and that's going to be a good time. I would love to just do that whole thing. That'd be a good fun day. Bring a bunch of batteries, strap them on your bike, bring some friends, some snacks, take some pit stops. That'll be a cool, fun trip. And so this is going to be a mix of pedaling, a mix of throttle. We'll probably just keep it on pedal assist 5. If I see a pedestrian, I will slow down to run 15 miles an hour to pass them. I don't want to be that guy that flies by people full speed. You know, I try and be respectful. Don't want to ruin it for other people. But if I do see a nice open pathway, we're going to book it, guys. And I'm not going to be recording this entire thing because that would be very boring for you and for me. even with me talking. We'll get some different camera angles on this bike as well. I got my selfie stick, so we'll see what that looks like. And let's go ahead and pull over and get a quick mileage check of where we are. Alright, so we're at 6.25 miles. Let's keep going, guys. See you in a bit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we've been riding around on this flat, straight trail. Let's see where we are on mileage. We're at 11.98 miles, pretty much 12 miles. And so far, the battery bars are still full. We're just hanging out, going like 25-ish miles an hour. And I already know the first mod that I want to do to this bike because I really like this bike. I really like it. The first mod that I want to do is make it so that I have more pedal resistance at higher speeds, because you can pedal fast if you want, of course, but your legs are going to be moving quick, and that's just not comfortable. It's not a pleasant experience. Nobody wants to ride their bike like that. At least no one that I know. So I'm going to probably mess around with the gearing in the future and make it so that I can comfortably pedal at like 30 miles an hour. I don't know what size chainring I would need up front. Maybe I'd have to switch up the rear as well. I've already done that on a different bike and it worked out great. But really, the most comfortable cadence for this bike, I would say it's 15 miles an hour, gear 7, pedal assist 2. See this? So we're just hanging out. This is pretty comfortable. This might even be a little bit too fast, but nobody wants to ride at 15 miles an hour. Oh, what is going on here? How's it going? Good. Oh, we got a guy doing some photo shoots. Yeah. Got to get those good Tinder photos. Get the whole family in on it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But yeah, see this? 15, 16 miles an hour, pedal assist 2. This is comfortable. And so I want that cadence. I want that pedaling cadence for 30 miles an hour. That would be nice. Or at least 25. Fun fact, I actually did a range test with the aerial rider Kepler. It's my first ever video. If you guys look back on all my videos, the very first one, I even recorded it vertically because I was never even meant to start a YouTube channel. But anyways, that's a story for another time. I did a range test where I was pedaling at 15 miles an hour, just like this, at this cadence. I think it was like pedal assist level 2 as well on the Kepler. And I managed to get 65 miles. I brought the battery down to 0. And I don't even want to think about how far this bike could go if I pedaled like this, also at 15 miles an hour, pedal assist 2. I don't even want to know. It would obviously be well into the 100-mile range. And the problem with that, and this is a good problem to have because that means your bike isn't holding you back. Literally, the only problem is that your ass would hurt from sitting so long. I think what I would need at that point is one of those like giant, essentially a chair with a backrest. That'd be kind of cool. Hey, that'd be a fun mod to put in this bike. Maybe that's, yeah. Oh, I just gave myself that idea. So this bike, it has this like strange proprietary seat mount, which is kind of annoying because you can't easily put an aftermarket bicycle seat on it. But maybe we'll figure out how to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We could put a big old lazy boy seat on this thing and just go 100 miles. Maybe I'll like, I don't know, watch a movie on my phone while I'm riding. What do you guys think? Should I do that? Let me know in the comments below. Right now, this seat is pretty comfortable. I do feel it. I wouldn't want to be on this seat for longer than an hour, but we'll see what kind of range we get today, guys. Something else I'd probably change, because this is a long-range e-bike, are the handlebars. I might put some ergonomic handlebars so you can just rest your hand on the handlebars instead of actually having to kind of grip them and hold them tight with these like thin round ones over here. Small little details like that all add up to a very comfortable experience on this long-range bike. But I gotta say, guys, I really like this bike. I would definitely recommend it if someone asked me if they wanted to get a bike. This would be a good option. The feeling that you get, the liberating feeling of knowing you could just get up and go and not have to worry about your battery life is priceless. I don't even care about top speed because we're just kind of hanging out on this bike path. I'm not commuting on the road. If I'm going to be biking with a blend of slow traffic and stuff like this on pedestrian walkways, this is the bike I'd want. You don't need to go fast. I would like to maybe also add on a better front fork, because this one is fairly clunky, unfortunately. Like right now, I just bottomed out the front fork, and that's really kind of annoying. The front fork just bottoms out so easily. I think I would just make this bike more comfortable. I would add, it'd be cool to put like ape hangers on this thing. It'd just look ridiculous, but it'd be kind of fun. This would be the bike I would probably take out if I was doing a group ride with other normal e-bikers. Like, I know you guys will see a lot of group rides online with Sur-on speed e-bikes that are going like 40, 50 miles an hour. This wouldn't be the bike for that. You just kind of mosey on over to some restaurant, chill, have some food, and then ride back. This would be the bike I would take. So comfortable. And the power is great. The speed is great. It's faster than most other bikes. Good torque. This thing gets to like, at full charge, it'll get to 1500 watts. That is fantastic. Crossing on over. We dropped 1 bar. Let's see how far we can get on this thing. So this part is pretty boring up here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off just to save some battery. Let's check the distance. We're at just about 15 miles. Turn the camera off. Catch up with you guys in a bit. All right, guys. We are maybe at the halfway mark. I don't know. We're going to take a little break. We're at this lake that I found. Lake Basile, whatever it's called. And we are at 22.84 miles. Still showing 4 out of 5 battery bars, and this is all flat. This is easy road for this bike, and for any bike. Doesn't take that much power to go even 30, which I was going for maybe half the time. If I'm passing someone, I go about 15. Maybe my average speed is about 20 miles an hour, but we're not exactly going slow with this thing. We are going at a pretty good speed, and I really thought to myself, this bike, one of the things that this bike is really good for is just getting out there to explore. Just to get out there, just to see the sights, see what's out there, because I would not have known about this lake unless I had this bike and I went all the way out, almost 25 miles away from my house. You know, normally I would have turned around a long time ago just because of range anxiety for most e-bikes, but this, you can just keep going with this thing. You can just go forever, and the sense of adventure that you feel with this bike is something that you don't get with other bikes. You know, with other bikes, we do all kinds of testing, like, you know, hill climb testing, power testing, off-road tests, all that stuff, and it's all great. You know, top speed tests, that's all important, but something that you don't really test in a lot of those bikes, that you really can't because of range anxiety, is the sense of adventure that you get while riding these bikes. With this one, I think you definitely get that because of the freedom that it gives you with so much battery life. And I know there's a dual motor version out, but you're going to use up the battery a lot faster. It's the same capacity battery, 52 volts, 60 amp hours. It's the same capacity, but you'll use up that battery a lot faster. You will have more range anxiety with that than this. And I guess that is good for hills. But if you don't have a lot of hills, I would probably get this one. If range is most important to you, I'd probably get this version. Trust me, this thing has plenty of power. I'm very happy with it. And you know me, guys. I am a speed demon. I like my power. This bike has plenty of power. And by the way, guys, this bike is listed in the description below, along with the dual motor version. Any coupon codes or discounts that are listed down there will work with both this version and the dual motor version as well. So feel free to check those out. If you do buy a bike using that link, it will help the channel at no extra cost to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little break right here and just chill out. I'm going to enjoy a cold beverage with a protein bar, and we'll continue on. I'm headed back. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are headed back home, back to my neighborhood. We got to the Massachusetts border from central Connecticut. And Connecticut is a small state, so that was only 30 miles. And of course it was mostly flat. I am starting to do a little bit of pedaling, mostly because I'm just kind of getting bored. Riding around on flat ground for this long, it's kind of boring. And I am definitely going to be changing the gearing of this bike because I do want my cadence to be slower at 25 to 30 miles an hour. So obviously we're doing a little bit of pedaling. Seems to be a good amount of people right now in this specific portion of the trail. Hopefully my 360 camera doesn't hit anyone as I'm riding back. How's it going? Because I do have that camera sticking out of the side of my bike. Just trying to get you guys some cool views. Look at this gorgeous scenery. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Wow. But we'll probably do a little bit of pedaling today. I originally said I would just do throttle, pretty much throttle only, but kind of just getting bored. And as the voltage does drop on this bike, I am getting a little bit less power for a specific pedal assist level. So for example, level 3 was too much for pedaling, but right now it's actually pretty good. It's on the upper limit of where I want to move my legs, but look at this. I'm going 25 miles an hour, pedal assist 3. Not too bad of a cadence, not too terrible. Not great, not terrible.
Not great, not terrible.
But we're out here, guys. We're gonna head on back. Let's go ahead and check the mileage. And this bike is nice and stable. I can use my phone. All right, so we're at 31 miles. So we'll just do another 30 miles back. And then we'll see where the battery voltage ends up. We'll see where the battery level is. See you guys in a bit. Look at this, guys. Nice, flat, open road. Perfect weather. This is great. Let's continue on. Let's check our mileage. We are at 33.38 miles. All right, let's keep going. So throttle only speed on this flat part, we could still easily get to 30 miles an hour. No problem. If I tuck down, we'll get 31. We get to like 31, maybe 32, but you can definitely tell the voltage is definitely going down by a little bit, not by a lot. Announcement. We actually hit 3 out of 5 bars. We were at 4 for a very long time. So we're gonna keep on going, ladies and gentlemen. I am mixing in a little bit of this style of pedaling. So a pretty fast cadence. It says I'm using 8 amps from the battery itself. 8 amp discharge. We're going 23 miles an hour. I still have pretty much no range anxiety. Make sure I have anxiety about this camera hitting something, that's for sure. But no range anxiety right now. I know I can make it home just fine. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Ooh, I kind of want to go there. Not today, though, but can't explore too far off the beaten path just yet. We're on a mission, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to test the range of the Aniioki A8 Pro Max, and hopefully I don't hit anyone with this camera sticking out of my bike. I angled it slightly upwards. So right now it's a little bit cloudy. And I don't have my sunglasses on, and one thing that I definitely miss from my old helmet is the full visor that I had. Sometimes I would close it because I'm feeling bugs hit my face. They'll just be flying around, and then, you just kind of take them out with your face. And hopefully they don't hit you in the eyeball, because that will not be pleasant. Especially if you're going 30 miles an hour on a bicycle, and all of a sudden you get smashed in the face or smashed in the eyeball with a bug. You probably don't want to be going 30 miles an hour on a bicycle with an eye injury. Oh, looks like that sun is coming out, thank God. I felt a couple of raindrops earlier. We were going to keep going anyway. I think we're passing by one of Connecticut's old tobacco farms. I don't know if they're still using it. They're obviously still using it for some kind of farm. I don't know what it is. I don't know if this particular one is a tobacco farm or not. Most worried about not hitting my camera on something. See, what we're passing is one of the old railroad stations for this trail, which used to be a railroad, of course. The sun's coming out, thank God. It was getting a little cold earlier. So pedal assist 3, top speed throttle only gives us 23 miles an hour. By the time we're done with this range test, that speed will probably be down to like 20 maybe, because with less voltage comes less watts, because the amps are the same. The controller will always ask for a certain amount of current, certain amount of amps, but the voltage will go down, of course, as the battery drains, and so you'll get less and less power. So maybe that'll be 20 miles an hour by the end of this, and pedal assist 3 might be a little bit slower of a cadence than this right here, but we're getting 22 miles an hour just pedaling like this. Let's continue on. Oh, bumpy part coming up, and I just mounted my selfie stick at the longest possible length. Let's test the image stabilization of the Insta360. I might have to stabilize this in software. Let's see. We can't go too fast over this, otherwise I'm going to lose the camera. Going slow. Hey. I didn't hear what he said, but I'm sure he said something nice. He looked pretty happy. Seat comfort isn't too bad. It is obviously on the more comfortable side in general. Aniioki did do a pretty good job in designing the seat. They knew, obviously, this is a long-range bike. People are going to be sitting on this thing for a while. So they want to give you guys a lot of different options for seating positions. You can kind of slide forwards, you can slide back a bit. Yeah, a lot of farming going on around here. We're in Granby, Connecticut. A little bit more rural part of Connecticut. We'll just cut the tractor off. Sorry, I know you're doing tractor stuff, but we got a range test to do. Me first. This is gorgeous. Nice area, though. I'd love to live out here, but it's just so far from everything, like far from civilization. Just to get to a main artery highway would take forever. One of these days when I truly become antisocial and all I do is ride e-bikes and make YouTube channels, I won't need to be next to civilization. I could just live out in the middle of nowhere and have companies just send me e-bikes and I'll just test them for the rest of my life. Shout out to my buddy Bruce, who told me once he retires, all he wants to do is ride e-bikes. I feel you, man. Check out his channel. I'll leave the name of it at the bottom of the screen. I think it's called I'm Bruce Eclectic. Bruce is actually a moderator of all of my Facebook groups. He helps me out keeping things clean, and he is a fellow dog lover as well, so of course we're gonna get along. And he is one of the friendliest people I've never met. I've never met Bruce in real life, but through the internet I've determined that he is aggressively friendly, like a golden retriever. If you ever need comments on any of your content, friendly comments, Bruce will leave you 3 comments. He'll be watching a video and commenting as he's commenting multiple times as he's watching your video. So shout out to Bruce. Bruce is the highlight of this little e-bike world that we have here. If you're watching this video, you've probably come across some of his content, and you've definitely come across some of his comments. What a beautiful day. Finally warming up in New England. Oh boy. We got some traffic, folks. Ooh, we got a trike coming up. Interesting. Oh yeah, electric trike. Very cool. Guys, mind if I pass you? There, you hear me? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Past the traffic jam. We're still at 3 out of 5 bars. Mileage is at pretty much 40 miles. I'm doing a little bit of pedaling. As you guys can see, speed is about 25 miles an hour, 23. This is the cadence that I have. Man, this thing can just go forever. At this point, your biggest problem is going to be your butt hurting. And if you've actually done some sightseeing or are having fun on your ride, because if it's like this, just flat, boring ground the whole time, it's kind of boring. You want some kind of adventure, or at least you want to be with some friends. Maybe, I don't know, listening to like an audiobook even or something like that. But we're out here, guys. We're doing some range testing just for you. Let's keep going. Let's get in the bike lane. This is a beautiful street on a beautiful day. I actually ran a half marathon on this road. They call it the Simsbury Iron Horse Half Marathon. The one and only half marathon I've ever done. I might do more in the future. I was just kind of testing myself to see if I could do it. I am not built like a runner. I have an Eastern European build with kind of shorter, stumpy legs. Good for lifting, not good for running. But we're going to do running anyway. I actually try and run a 5K every single weekend with some friends because they say it's good for you. I don't know, exercise. They say exercise is good for you. It could just be one big conspiracy theory. I don't know. Maybe we should all just e-bike throttle only forever instead. We're gonna chill out here for a little bit, eat another protein bar, squeeze by this fence. All right, so range is 40.5 miles. Let's have a snack and keep going. See you guys in a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're wondering why I'm recording from my smartphone, it's because my battery died on my Insta360 and I didn't think to bring a second battery. Honestly, I didn't think I would need it. But this ride has been so long and I am recording in a higher resolution, so I think it ate up the battery a little bit faster. But we're still at 3 out of 5 bars. So this bike just, it can go forever, but we're gonna continue on. We'll just use my phone battery, I guess. See you guys in a bit. Yeah, check that out, guys. 3 out of 5 bars still. Unreal.
One eternity later.
Alright guys, so after 52 miles, we're at 1 bar. You guys see that? 1 bar. And see, we got another 8 miles to go. And I was just full throttling. I'm getting impatient, guys. I'm starting to get impatient. We're just kind of full throttling it down this mostly empty walking path over here. And yeah, my butt hurts and I just want this to be over at this point. So we're gonna go as fast as we can and use up as much energy as possible. See what the battery voltage ends up being. Hopefully I make it home. If the battery dies before I make it home, that will be a true 100 to 0% range test. So see you guys at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, I found a second battery for my camera. I thought I didn't bring it. I thought I didn't bring this little bag over here, but I did. So we're gonna go ahead and get this set up and get filming again. We'll do the helmet mounted camera for the rest of the ride. We're down to 1 bar. Let's see how far we can get. Let's see if we can make it home. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's put everything away. I had my drone out for a little bit. And nice thing about this bike is that you get this big beefy rack in the back over here for ample storage. Thank God I thought about bringing my extra battery. I don't know why I thought I didn't bring it. This is what it's like living with ADHD, I guess. I think I have it. I'm not sure, though. Everyone thinks they have ADHD, don't they? Maybe it's me just being unorganized. All right. Good. I like this bag. This is a nice looking bag. And it clamps down tight on the bike. All right, guys. So pedaling at pedal assist 3 now. With 1 bar. Yeah, I can tell we're getting a little tiny bit less power, but still pretty good. Oh, it's really warming up out here. Some people out here, so we'll just kind of pedal around them at like 15-ish miles an hour. We're not gonna go too crazy. All right, this guy's going over here. Okay, and we are almost done with this specific trail. We're almost back to where we started, so soon we're gonna be hitting the roads. And hopefully this 1 bar of battery can get me back home. I think we'll be all right. It is a gorgeous day. It's getting hot. I'm happy I wore pants though, because with the wind, it does feel a little bit cooler, especially earlier in the first half of the ride, especially when we got closer to Massachusetts. It was kind of cold. My arms are a little bit cold, but now we're getting hot, so it all worked out. Soon it's gonna be hot and I'm gonna have to wear shorts. I like shorts, I just don't like how they look on camera. Kind of look, it looks a little bit goofy. I don't know. Like if I'm testing some like badass looking bike and I'm over here wearing shorts and a t-shirt, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't look all that great. Just doesn't look badass. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the trail. We are back on the road. Here I am on the road again. I'm tone deaf. And I know it. I should start a singing YouTube channel. All about being tone deaf. I'll probably get my channel deleted immediately. I passed by that guy. He had headphones. I beeped. He didn't hear me. I passed him. He's like, Jesus. I guess I am on the sidewalk after all. Oops. I wasn't going to hit him. Got plenty of space. And there are cyclists that can easily travel 20 miles an hour. Although in their defense, they usually aren't on the sidewalk. Am I the asshole? I don't know. All right, back on the road. It's getting hot. 1 bar, ladies and gentlemen. We've been at 1 bar for quite some time. Curious, once we get back, if we get back, what the voltage is going to be. I really do like the single motor version of this bike. I haven't even tried the dual motor version, but the whole point of getting a bike like this, in my opinion, is for range. And if you have 2 motors, even if you try and be disciplined with the usage of your power, usually you're still going to use more power than you think you're using, and you're not going to get the range that you want. But when you have 1 motor, it kind of limits how much power you can use, even though this is a pretty good controller. 28 amp controller is fantastic. Times 52 volts. We're getting plenty of power, guys. At 52 volts, we're getting 1450 watts. That's great. And so what you end up getting is that range that you buy this kind of bike for. Like, I've been pretty much hauling ass for almost 60 miles straight. We're not going slow, folks. We're not just going 15 the whole time. We go 15 miles an hour pedaling, maybe like at most 15% of the time. The rest, we're just hauling it. 25, 30 miles an hour, like this. I could not have done this ride with the dual motor bike, I guarantee it. I think the only reason to get the dual motor bike would probably be if you live in a hilly area. That's probably it. I know it can go 40 miles an hour also, so maybe if you're interested in like keeping up with traffic, maybe that's another reason to get it. But especially for the hill climbing, because dual motors with the smaller wheels and with the amount of watts that it's putting out, you're gonna climb some serious hills with that thing. Let's see if we can creep out here, because this thing is not going to sense my little bicycle whatsoever. Onwards, ladies and gentlemen. Power level still feels pretty good, even at 1 bar. There's just so many cells in this battery, it's very resistant to voltage sag. I can still easily cruise around this neighborhood between 25 and 30. Alright, so top speed with 1 bar is probably now down to like 30, 29 miles an hour. Although this is going slightly uphill. I would help this bike out more, but the gearing is not made for over, I would say, 25 miles an hour. It's just not comfortable. I wonder if the battery bar will turn red. I think if it turns red, that's probably as low as anyone would go with this bike. And so we don't necessarily need to bring this thing down to 0. But if your battery bar is turning red, then it's like, all right, your ride is pretty much over. But we'll see, guys. We'll see what we get. And we're hoping for 60 miles. And I think we'll get 60 miles. But 60 fast miles. We're not just going to mosey on around 15 miles an hour, pedaling the whole time. In theory, you can get 100 miles on any bike if you want. If you turn the motor off, would that still be considered range of the bike? I don't know. If you're using mostly leg power for your range test, or if you have the weight of a child, is that really a range test? No, you guys want to see stuff like this. Look at this, we're still getting 30-something. Damn! This thing is awesome. Wow. Give this bike a little bit of help up the hill. We gotta cross this busy road. And then we're gonna keep it on the sidewalk on this busy road. See if we get an opening. Here we go. We're climbing this hill pretty good. This bike just never stops impressing me. We've got so much power left at 1 bar. It's unbelievable. This is always a muddy mess. Right here, I think the irrigation of this part of the street is always messed up. I don't know what's going on. They need to make some kind of changes on that. But I try and go slow through that just so I don't get splashed up too badly, even though this thing does have fenders. All right, pedal assist 5. Let's keep going. Let's do a fun little test. We're going to turn around. I don't know if you guys recognize where we are, but we're about to do the steep hill climb test at 1 battery bar. Let's see what the difference is between more or less a fresh charge versus 1 battery bar. See how we do. This is throttle only. Here we go. See if I can even do it. Last time this thing did pretty good. 7, 6, 5. No, it's not gonna do it. Struggling to even stay upright. These brakes are phenomenal. going down that steep hill. Easy. We'll go ahead and do our main hill climb test as well. So I think it's too much to expect from any bike to climb that steep of a hill at 1 battery bar, whatever the voltage is. It just does not have the power. That's a very steep hill. One of these days I'll measure the grade. Alright, so we're gonna head down our long hill climb test, our main hill climb test. And I guess the only difference between right now and the last test I did was it's a little bit warmer. I do have an extra 20 pounds on me with the bag in the back. And obviously we're down to 1 bar. I don't know exactly what voltage it is because we've been at 1 bar for a while, but this is going to be a good comparison for you guys and for me because I'm curious also what the time difference is, what the speed difference is between a full fresh battery versus 1 battery bar left. So we already tried the steep hill climb test. Now let's do our main hill climb test. Pedal assist 5, throttle only. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, go. Very slow start. See what we got. Ladies and gentlemen, smash that subscribe button right now. Stop what you're doing, just go ahead and smash that button. What other reviewer does this for you? Testing and retesting with a full versus pretty much empty battery, getting the time difference so you know exactly how much power you'll have at 1 bar if you decide to buy this bike. And this is an awesome bike. Link in the description below. Save yourself a little bit of money with any coupon codes or discounts that are down there as well. Alright, so we're looking at our phone. We're at 60.79 miles. Max speed 37, 4 hours riding, 4 hours 17 minutes.
After letting the battery rest, it did recover back up to 2 bars, and we finished with a voltage of almost 51 volt, which is insane because that means this battery was at a 55% charge, which means we still had plenty of miles left to go. The way I was riding this bike, I probably could have gotten it to 100 miles, but if you were very conservative at pedal assist 1, 15 miles an hour, I think this bike could probably reach 200 miles.
That's it for today, folks. Until next time.